Do you feel awful every time you're around your parents? Do you feel guilt, sadness, or just want to run away? Maybe the pain is coming from where you least expected, and maybe you haven't even realized it yet. This video will show you 10 signs your parents are making you depressed. Yes, 10 signs your own parents could be hurting your mental health. It's not easy to face that truth, but it's the first step to breaking free. If something inside you is crying for help, stick around till the end. This video might open your eyes and change your life. Chapter 1. They hold you back from chasing your dreams. Have you ever felt like your parents try to control every choice you make? Like you're expected to follow the path they choose, even if it makes you miserable. That's more common than you think and could be pushing you away from what truly makes you happy. If you're giving up on your dreams just to please them, that's not love, it's control. Over time, that frustration turns into anger, guilt, and sadness. And all of that can show up as depression. The pressure to be the perfect child makes you forget who you are. Your goals, your personality, even your passions get buried under the fear of disappointing them. That hurts, and it chips away at your self-esteem. Take a second and ask yourself, are you living your own life, or just playing a role to keep them happy? Realizing this is the first step to taking back your emotional freedom. Chapter 2. They put way too much pressure on you. Some parents put all their expectations onto their kids. They say things like, "You re my only hope," or "I can be let down by you." It sounds like love, but it's emotional pressure. This kind of pressure makes you feel guilty all the time. Like you're never enough. Like you're constantly failing at something. And that non-stop feeling of failure can lead straight into depression. When there's no room to make mistakes, to rest, or just be yourself, that's a red flag. Living in fear of disappointing your parents isn't normal. It leaves you anxious, stuck, and totally drained. Do you feel like you have to be perfect just to be accepted? That's a toxic trap. Real love doesn't depend on how well you perform. It accepts you for who you really are. Chapter 3. They're emotionally unavailable. Do you try to open up to your parents, but they always seem cold or distant? They don't show affection, they don't really listen, and you end up feeling invisible. That can hurt more than you think. Growing up without emotional support is like trying to build a house with no foundation. Everything feels unstable. You learn to bottle things up, fake being okay, and stop trusting anyone. That messes up all your future relationships. When no one listens or comforts you, you start believing your feelings don't matter. That feeds loneliness, sadness, and the feeling of being abandoned, all of which are signs of depression. Have you ever tried to talk to your parents and got silence or coldness in return? That's not normal, and it's not your fault. Everyone deserves to be heard, especially at home. Chapter 4. Their presence makes you anxious. Do you get tense whenever your parents are around? Feel like you have to watch what you say, hide parts of yourself, or tiptoe to avoid judgment? That's a big sign something's off. It shouldn't be normal to feel trapped in your own home. When being around your parents causes stress instead of comfort, your brain starts to shut down emotionally. That shutdown can turn into apathy, constant sadness, lack of focus, trouble sleeping, classic symptoms of depression. And a lot of the time, we don't even realize where it's coming from. Think about it. After spending time with your parents, do you feel better or worse? If the answer is worse, it's time to reevaluate your boundaries. Chapter 5. They make your depression worse. Some people notice that their depression symptoms get worse around their parents. More sadness, more exhaustion, more isolation. That's not a coincidence. It could mean your home environment is hurting you. Toxic parents can be harsh, critical, or just plain cruel with their words. They dismiss your feelings, joke about your pain, or call you weak. It doesn't help. It just deepens the wound. Every visit leaves you emotionally drained. That's a huge red flag. You're not obligated to stay close to people who hurt you, even if they re-family. Does this hit home for you? Have you noticed your mental health slipping around them? Then no, you're not overreacting. And recognizing it is a huge step toward healing. Chapter 6. Their dysfunction rubs off on you. A lot of parents never learned how to handle their emotions, and it spills over to the kids. Right? If you grew up with yelling, silence, or emotional blackmail, you probably picked up some unhealthy habits too. Were you allowed to express how you felt? Or did you have to tough it out and hide your emotions? That kind of environment builds up inside and can turn into anxiety, guilt, and depression later in life. The way we deal with pain usually reflects what we saw growing up. If your role models were emotionally shut down, you might isolate, blow up, or try to carry it all alone. But here's the good news. You can unlearn that. Realizing your parents taught you to shut down or blame yourself is painful, but it also sets you free. You can start fresh. Chapter 7. Their mental illness impacts you. If your parents deal with depression, anxiety, or disorders like narcissism, it will affect you. When they don't work on their own issues, they often pass those wounds down to their kids. Kids pick up everything. If your parents were always sad, angry, or unstable, you probably grew up with fear, insecurity, and abandonment issues. That kind of stress leaves deep marks. Children of untreated parents are more likely to repeat the same cycles or develop mental health struggles of their own. It's like an invisible legacy. Heavy, but real. Do you feel emotionally responsible for your parents? Have you tried to fix or care for them like the adult in the house? You might be carrying way more than you should. Chapter 8. They struggle with alcohol or drugs. Parents who abuse alcohol or drugs usually can't offer safety or consistency. The house becomes unpredictable, like walking on eggshells all the time. That's traumatizing. Living with fear, shame, and chaos creates lifelong anxiety. Kids raised in this environment grow up always bracing for something bad. And sometimes, they completely lose their sense of self. Addicted parents are often neglectful, emotionally absent, or even violent. That destroys the trust and security kids need to grow up emotionally healthy. If this was, or still is, your reality, please hear this. What you felt is valid, and none of it was your fault. You did what you had to do to survive. Now it's time to heal. Chapter 9. Their abusive abuse isn't just hitting or yelling. It can be silence, sarcasm, humiliation, or control. If you were belittled, manipulated, or constantly made to feel small, that's abuse. It leaves scars. A lot of people think if they weren't physically hurt, they weren't abused. But emotional damage can be just as painful, and it can last even longer. When someone keeps hurting you, making you feel worthless, guilty, or afraid, that's not love. Even if it comes from someone who was supposed to protect you. Does this sound familiar? Did your home feel unsafe? Then no, you're not being dramatic. You deserve to rebuild your life with love, safety, and respect. Chapter 10. They don't help you cope with depression. Even if your parents aren't the direct cause of your depression, they can still make it worse by not supporting you. They ignore your pain, joke about it, or tell you to just get over it. That's not okay. Lack of empathy creates distance. It hurts to see the people who should care the most. Choose to look away. You try asking for help, but all you get is judgment or silence. Many parents dismiss mental health issues. They call it drama, weakness, or lack of faith. But depression is serious, and it deserves real care and attention. Do your parents discourage therapy? Do they downplay your struggles? That's emotional neglect. And no, you don't have to accept that as normal. Conclusion, if any of this hit home, take a deep breath. You're not alone. So many people go through this in silence, thinking they're being too sensitive, but they're not. Talking about pain is the first step toward healing, and you deserve to be heard, seen, and supported. So if this video spoke to you, give it a like, drop a comment below. Have your parents ever made your mental health worse? Your story might help someone else too. And if this kind of content helps, subscribe to the channel. We talk mental health with honesty, compassion, and care. Your feelings are valid, and you're never alone in this. See you in the next video.